Over these next 5 videos, we are going to build your dream business to set you up to make the most money possible in the most enjoyable way possible. So I'm going to be sharing with you the exact step-by-step blueprint that I use to go from struggling freelancer charging $500 for a website to booking my first project at $5,000 within weeks. And everything that I've learned since then over the past 3 years that's allowed me to 10x my income and streamline my business down to less than 4 hours a day. And while I'll be using web design as an example, if you're any creative looking to provide a service to clients, then doing the things in this video will dramatically increase your chances of reaching 10K plus months this year. Whether you're watching this and starting from zero with no freelancing experience, or you're 1 or 2 years into your business and you're just tired of working all the time, always chasing new clients, and you want to finally streamline your business to give you more income and more freedom, either way, you're in the right place. Now, just to warn you, this is going to be in depth, so if you clicked on this video looking for some light entertainment, you might want to save this for later. This isn't me just giving you the basic outline of what you need to do so I can sell you a course at the end of the video. This is the course. This is everything I know, holding nothing back and giving it to you for free. So in this video, we're going to create your offer, price your offer, and learn how to set yourself apart as the go-to expert to help you easily attract clients and raise your rates. But of course, this is only the first step in creating more time and money freedom in your business. So in the following videos in this series, we're also going to be covering sales psychology, including putting together a high converting sales page template, the secret to endless clients, creating a system that attracts clients on autopilot with zero cold outreach, creating a seamless client process, my entire web design process, including all the templates you need to deliver this service for yourself, and how to work less, the processes and templates that I use to streamline my business down to less than 4 hours a day. Now you're probably thinking, why would I spend weeks, even months, putting all this together just to give it away to you for free? I always want to be as honest as possible with you about how I make my money so I can help you do the same. If there's one thing I've learned over the past 3 years, is that the best strategy for building a brand online is to give away everything you know for free and sell the implementation. This is the strategy that I'm going to be teaching you how to use so you can build a business that attracts clients with ease, and it's what I've used to make well over 100K online, and I honestly love this way of doing it because it just makes the selling part of this feel so easy. I can be generous with my knowledge and share everything with you without feeling like there's an agenda or I'm making the hard sell, and so you can be confident that I am sharing everything with you here. But if you want to save time implementing everything that you've learned here, then you can grab the templates that I'm using in these videos below at any time, but it's not necessary. If you've got the time to do everything yourself, then binge the videos in these series and it will give you everything you need for free. You can pay me back just by liking my video if you find this valuable. So we're going to jump right into it. Now, the first big change that allowed me to 10x my rates almost overnight is that I stopped trying to offer everything to everyone and I focus on just one thing. Now, I know this is going to sound scary for some of you. Maybe you're thinking, I don't want to miss out on clients or opportunities because I'm limiting what I have to offer. And this is a mindset that's very common amongst freelancers, especially when you're always chasing new clients and you're never quite sure where that next job is coming from. I've been there and I felt the exact same way as you, and this is what kept me struggling in my business for so long. So let me illustrate why this is holding you back. The mistake that a lot of freelancers make is that they sit there with their long list of services waiting for a client to come to them, order off their menu and tell them exactly how they want things done. But when you do this, you end up like that restaurant that has too many options on the menu. Not only does it make it harder to attract clients because it's confusing, but you're also portraying yourself as the budget option. To give you an example, if I'm going to go and get sushi and I have the money to spend, I'm going to the place that only serves sushi because I know it's going to be better than the place that serves everything. And I'm going to be happy to pay more for it because it's their specialty. I know it's going to be good and the price is justified. You see, there are two types of clients out there. There's the first client who are just looking for a job to get done. These are the people that are looking for the cheapest option and they just want a dancing monkey that's going to do as they say and give them what they want. And then there's the people that are looking for a specialist. These are the people that know the value of your service. They're looking for results and they're happy to pay for an expert. These are the clients that we want that are going to grow our business. And so if you want to attract the right type of clients in your business and become the go-to expert so you can charge a premium for your service, you have to focus on just one thing. Trust me when I say you won't be missing out on clients by doing this. The less services you have, the easier it is to attract clients and the easier it is to grow your business because you can really focus on getting really good at this one thing. And for those of you who are just starting out and you're not sure what you want to focus on yet and you're overwhelmed at the thought of just choosing one, this doesn't mean that you can't still do custom work and try out a bunch of different things. The thing to remember is that you do not need to choose one thing and then stick to it forever. The key mindset that I want you to adopt as we go through this series is an iterator mindset. mindset. It's letting go of this idea that everything has to be perfect before you start. I get so many messages from people paralyzed by all these questions like, what should my niche be, agency or freelance? What website platform should I learn? And this idea that you have to have all these things sorted and your brand written in stone before you start is just a terrible idea. Your business and your brand is not built alone in your bedroom. It's built in collaboration with your audience, and it grows and evolves as you work out what offers work for them, what messaging works for them, and what you enjoy doing. And so while you're focusing on just clearly communicating one offer right now, your offer can change based on the season of your business and your goals and energy at that time. And so with that in mind, if you haven't done so already, you're going to want to pause this video and download the free Notion workbook below. In here, you'll find 3 exercises that I always go back to whenever I'm planning the next 3-month sprint in my business. These exercises are going to help you think about what you want your business to look like so you can design a business that supports your lifestyle and not the other way around. We also have income and expenses here that's going to help you calculate your desired income. And this is also the first thing that you see when you come into your offer creation worksheet. This is going to help you work out how many clients you need and how much you need to be charging per project to hit your goals. At this point, you might not even have a clue what service to order or even how much to charge. So don't worry, we're going to be going through some examples and then come back and fill this in. The best way to get a better idea of how to position yourself and your services is to do some market research. And this is also a great way to address any limiting beliefs that you have around money or what's actually possible for your business. So I recommend looking at 5 to 10 other service providers in your industry. What service do they offer? What's included? The price, the audience they serve, and what makes people choose them over competitors. I've already carried out this research for myself, and so here are the most common web design services and roughly how much you can charge for them. So first up, the most common is a custom web design. This is where you offer in-depth strategy, design direction, custom pages and features, and complete website build out. The cost of this varies depending on the scope and the size of the client's business. The more profit you create for your client, the more you can charge. So this can range anywhere from $5,000 up to $100,000. Most designers offer a timeline of 4 to 6 weeks, and this audience is usually 3+ years into their business and they're looking to scale. Another popular service amongst web designers are design sprints. This is your day rate, for example, website in a day or template customization. And for this, you're usually working from set website templates or a set number of pages and features and just customizing to each client. And this is kind of aimed at startups and people who want to test and launch their website as soon as possible. The timeline is usually a day or a week, and the common price for this is between $1,000 to $3,000. Then another service you can offer is intensives. These are your 1 to 2 hour website audits or strategy sessions. And this is where clients are paying you for your knowledge. You give them a clear roadmap to achieving their goals, and then they either implement it themselves or pay you to do it for them. In other words, you're getting paid to pitch your services. And then the last project structure that's becoming more popular, this is a new way of structuring retainer services. You're offering design as a subscription for a set price per month, and the client can start or stop at any time. I've seen this offered at around $5,000 a month, and the clients are usually corporate clients and businesses with the budget to spend, but they don't want the hassle of hiring or managing multiple freelancers. And so this is a great example of how you can still offer custom work, but within the framing of one clear offer and value proposition. And so these are just some idea of how you can structure your services. And what's important when choosing your service structure is thinking about how this fits into your life and your energy and your goals. Some people prefer that consistency and having that long-term relationship with clients. So they might be charging $20K plus for 6 months of work because this matches their energy and the type of clients they want to work with. Others prefer day rates and offering sprints that last 2 weeks or even 1 or 2 days because they prefer that short-term interaction with client, and it gives them more freedom in their day-to-day life. I know for me, I was very excited about this thought of offering day rate, but in reality, when I started offering these, I absolutely hated it. As an introvert, this intense interaction with clients was so draining for me. I finished every day with a stress headache, and I just didn't feel like I was offering my best work. And so now I choose to take on very few clients at a higher price point. So using this as a guide, we want to write out a rough summary of our basic service, thinking about the deliverables we want to offer, the timeline, the level of support and revisions, and a rough price point. And if you want to offer different packages, like for example here you have slightly different packages within the framing of this one offer. If you want to do this, I would recommend having no more than 3 packages max, and keep it as simple and easy to understand the difference between these as possible. You also want to list everything here that's not included and how much extra you charge for this. So at this point, we've taken ourselves from freelancer to business owner. We've stopped offering everything and we have one clear offer. This here is the minimum you need. If you took this and started advertising this to clients today, you would already find it easier to attract the right type of client. You've already set yourself apart from the other 90% in your industry that are still trying to offer everything to everyone. But to truly have that level of ease in your business where you consistently attract your ideal clients that are ready to work with you as the go-to expert, then what we need to do now is turn this into a no-brainer offer for our clients. Right now, this here is just a list of deliverables, and clients don't buy deliverables, they buy outcomes. And so to turn this into our no-brainer offer, we're going to be using Alex Hormozi's value equation. And so on the top here are things that increase the value of an offer, and on the bottom here are things that decrease the value. To increase the value of your services, you need to be able to demonstrate the dream outcome that your clients want, and then increase the perceived likelihood of them achieving that outcome if they work with you. And this is about testimonials and proven case studies. And then you want to minimize the time frame of your projects, and then minimize the effort and sacrifice required from the client. So how can we make this easier, more seamless, and more convenient for the client? To illustrate how this works in practice, we're going to look at an example. So this guy here runs a web design agency charging $15,000 per website package. And the reason he's been able to do this is that he solves a very specific problem for a very specific audience. The audience is roofing businesses, and the problem is getting leads into their local area, which he's created a full package solution for. He goes in and builds out their whole website. He sets up an advanced blog and SEO to rank on Google in their local area, and then resells this package again and again to other local businesses. And so the dream outcome here is basically a lead generating machine. They get a website that attracts clients on autopilot and basically prints money for them. The perceived likelihood of success is high because he has a range of experience in case studies from other people in a very specific industry. And so if you're a roofing business with a choice between any other designer and this guy, no matter how good this other web designer is, you're probably going with this guy because the likelihood of that very specific outcome you want is higher. Because of this, they're also able to minimize the time to success. Their audience is so niche, and they're basically creating the same website and system every single time. So this is extremely easy to template and automate, so they're able to deliver this quicker than anybody else. And providing that they have a really smooth and streamlined client process, this couldn't be much easier for the client, because a lot of times when you're working with a web designer or a service provider, you have to educate them on your business and your needs. But in this case, they already know all of this. They're already experts in this industry, so all the client needs to do is sit back, relax, and wait for the results. And so this is what you call a no-brainer offer, making it incredibly easy to attract clients and also charge them a premium because you can almost guarantee the results that they're after. And it becomes quick and easy for you to deliver because you can template the whole process. This is the dream, right? But how do we get from zero to here? To create an offer that sells itself and attracts your dream client, the first step is to find your niche. Don't panic. People hear the word niche, and this is when the overthinking really sets in. But we're going to make this really simple, and I'm going to show you how to find your niche in a way that feels good and not like you're being put into a box that you'll never escape. And so the first thing that you want to do is niche by platform or delivery. And so as a website designer, you want to pick one website platform and stick to it. As long as there's a demand for this platform, it doesn't really matter which one. You can check out this video to help you choose, or if you're going to be following this entire video series, then the one I'm going to be demonstrating to you is Framer. This is going to make your workflow so much quicker. I remember when I first started out, every time a new client came to me and they wanted to use a different website platform, I would say yes to everything because I just wanted to prove that I could do it all. But not only does this make more work for you, but it also takes longer and you're not able to deliver as much value to the client. So the next step after this is niching by audience or industry. And there's two ways you can do this. If you're coming from a past career or you have a lot of knowledge and experience within a specific industry, you can combine this with your web design skills to supercharge your web design business. But if you don't have that prior experience and you're starting from scratch, then what you want to do is start broad and narrow over time. For example, maybe you start out just with this one service that you've outlined and you work with everybody. You work with a range of clients, and then one day you work with a photographer. You do a great job, you build them a high converting website that ranks for SEO in their local area. Now suddenly they're getting all these organic leads coming into their business every week. So they start telling their friends and their audience, and then suddenly your last 5 clients have been in this one specific industry and you start seeing a demand for your services. At this point, what you can do is double down on on what's working, start creating templates and marketing to this specific audience. And then you would continue narrowing down your audience and streamlining your services until you have a no-brainer offer that's easy and quick to deliver and offers huge results to your clients. The key here is actually going out and getting results for your clients first. Again, there's no point in trying to nail this no-brainer offer before you've actually worked with anyone. The best way to figure this out is from starting, seeing what's working, and then narrowing down over time. One quick side note here, there's one other thing that you want to bear in mind, and that is the more profit you can create for your clients, the more you can charge. Some designers would suggest charging between 5 and 10% of a client's annual revenue. For example, if you're creating a website that's going to bring in $100,000 in sales that year, then you could charge anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 for this. But if you're building a website that's going to bring in multiple millions in sales every year, then you could charge more like $100,000 for essentially the same thing. So the industry you pick can have a huge impact on your earning potential, which is why you always want to ask for your client's revenue in a sales call so you can understand the scale of their business and the scope of the project. And so the last thing that's going to allow you to charge more is demand. As you start to grow your audience and grow a referral network and get better at what you do, the demand for your services is going to grow. And so every time you find yourself booked out, you can keep raising your rates until you find that sweet spot between demand and your prices. A great example of this is Becca Luna. This is the web designer who really kicked off the website in a day trend, and now every designer and their grandmother are offering day rate services, which is great, but I think it's really important to understand that while she advertises that she charges $10,000 for a website built in a week, this did not happen overnight. The reason she's able to charge this much is that she niched down to a very specific audience and design style, and she built a big demand for her services through her audience and personal brand. She has an audience who see the money she's making and the powerful personal brand that she's built, and they want that for themselves, and so they're willing to pay. And so because of this personal brand, she has now become a niche of one. She's not competing with anyone else, and she can raise her rates as much as she likes as long as people are still willing to pay. And so building this niche of one, or this personal brand, is something that we're going to be covering in the third video of this series. But for those of you who are starting from scratch, this probably seems really overwhelming. The first client I ever worked with, I charged them $500, and even that sounded scary for me. So how do you get from there to confidently charging 10 times this when you're starting from zero? First up, just start with your basic service. Use the examples here if you like, and charge what you feel comfortable with. One thing I don't recommend though is working for free, even if you're just starting out. You want your client to at least put a small amount of money on the line, because you're more likely to be able to get them results if they're also invested in the outcome of this project. There's a certain amount of work and collaboration required from the client, and so they need to be able to see the value in what you're offering. If you don't feel comfortable charging without any experience, then one thing you can do is ask for a small donation to charity in exchange for working with you. At this point, your job is to go above and beyond and deliver on value. And then make sure to gather testimonials and client results to raise your rates for the next client. Every project you do, you should be charging more. At the end of the day, pricing isn't personal, and you want to take the emotion out of it as much as you can. But I understand that it really can feel personal, and even I feel uncomfortable every time I'm sending a new quote that's more than I've ever charged before. But it becomes a lot easier the more confident you are in the value of your work and the more yeses you get from clients. The thing you want to remember when you're sending quotes is that you're always going to be too expensive for one person and too cheap for someone else. But your ability to say, these are my rates, take it or leave it, will give you a huge advantage when growing your business. Okay, so I've thrown a lot of information at you, but I really want to make this as simple as possible for you to start taking action today. And so here's a step-by-step of what you're going to do next. Use this template to get clear on your offer. If you're starting from scratch, keep this very simple. Just steal my web design package right here. Video number 4 of this series is going to break down how to actually deliver this and all the templates that you need for this. So make sure to hit the follow so you don't miss that. Then the next step we're going to be covering in the next video, and that's going to be creating a sales page for your offer. Step 3 is going to take you through how to create a system that attracts clients on autopilot. And so this is going to be about starting to post and building your personal brand and what content you need to create to convert people to your offer. And then the last step is going to be starting and then slowly improving all of this over time. This simple sales funnel here is all you need to take your business from 0 to 10K months and beyond. Don't get distracted by adding all these things to your business, spending weeks putting together branding and product suites. Until you nail this, everything else is just a distraction and an excuse not to start. So use this next 3, 6, 12 months to really nail this, and you will have a money-making machine. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that it will happen overnight. It really makes me angry when people make it sound easy in order to sell you a course. You will have to get comfortable putting in the work and not seeing results right away, but it is going to be worth it. I now run my business in under 4 hours a day. On average, I spend 1 day a week on client work, and I have all the freedom I could possibly want. So if you're ready to do this, hit the follow, and I'll see you in the next video. And if you have any questions for me, drop them in the comments below.